floss tube. Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches, coming to you from my normal stitchy spot in my family room today. And I'm coming to you because it is the 24-hour of cross stitch weekend in November 2020. So my plan for this weekend is to get 24 hours of stitching done over the weekend, which won't be too hard. I am definitely team sleep. I need my sleep, especially since I didn't get much last night. And so I will be doing a bunch of my pieces I want to get started before the No New Starts 2021 next year. So I had these planned to start anyway, and I'm going to do my 200 or probably 300 stitches in each one and see how many I can get done doing the 24 hours. So I'm going to check back with you at the end of each piece and show you which one I picked and how I went. All right, I hope you have a great time. Bye. Okay, time for my first check-in. It's taken me a while to get here. I had lots of things going on this morning. It's currently 1 p.m. and I started stitching at 9, but I've had lots to do with the kids in between. And I have finished working on my first project. I'm going to put the photo of it here. It is called Soda Stitches World Postage Stamps, and I worked on it for 300 stitches starting in the middle. And as you can see, I was very pleased to see that the middle got me starting with Sydney. So there is 300 stitches on the World Postage Stamps, and that's because it has a beach and a bike for the Daily 30 group. That was the prompt for that, and then I'm working on it towards some other ones. I also used it for Crystal Academy, something that can be cut and stuck back together. So both postage stamps and envelopes can have that done with them. All right. Well, I will come and check in with you when I get to the end of 300 stitches on my second piece. All right, bye. Okay, friends. Well, not getting anywhere near the fast progress I'm wanting today because of the way life's turning out today, but it's now 9:30 at night and I have just finished my 300 stitches on my second piece, which looks like this. I don't actually know the name. I bought it from an Etsy store, and I call it Disney Gallery, and it's a full coverage. And this one I have started in the middle at the top, and I have done 300 stitches in 2 colors. So that's where we're at, which is pretty cool. So now I'm about to start on my next piece, which I'm going to show you now, and it's from the Mittagong Stitcher Retreat, and these are gorgeous gum nuts by Fuzzy Fox Designs. And the reason I'm doing these is that they represent a male and a female gum nut. You see the pretty flower in the lady's hair and the big bushy beard on the bloke? So that's what I'm going to stitch on, and my hope is to, well, I don't know if I'll get all 300 now before bed, but see what I can get done. All right, catch you at the end. All right, so finished my goal of 3 sets of 300 for the day. Here is the start of the little gum nuts from Fuzzy Fox Designs. They're super cute, lots more stitches than they look like, but almost got the female gum nut going. So I'm off to bed, and I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Well, good morning, guys. It's day 2 of the 24-hour cross stitch, 9 a.m. again, and I'm getting ready to get the stitching done. Don't have as much time as yesterday, and yesterday disappeared to not having much time, so we'll just see what I can get done. This morning's challenge, well, it's not going to be a challenge at all, is Little House Needleworks. It's the ABCs, and I am going to be getting started on that one and getting my 300 stitches done for a cross stitches journal prompt. Also catching frogs for Crystal Academy while I'm doing this, which is wonderful timing because it's I've got 50 stitches per frog, and so this is 300. That'll get me 6 frogs, so I don't have to think too hard. So I'm going to get my 300 done and check in with you after that. Bye. Okay, so here we go. We've got the process of 300 stitches, well 325 on the Little House Needleworks ABC samplers. I started in the middle. I'm doing all 9 on the one piece of fabric. So I started right in the middle with block 5 LMN, and I did substitute out the floss for the house because I didn't have the call for in the Classic Colourworks, but I substituted for a similar week's Dye Works, and I'm quite happy with the outcome. So that's where I'm at. That completes my first set of 300 for today. Got to go and do a few things, but that's another 3 hours of stitching. So heading towards the 24 hours. All right, I'll catch you with my next project. Bye. Okay, so I have finished my 300 stitches on this lovely little snowman for winter snow. And he's meant to be on this really horrible piece of Ada. So I switched him out onto a sparkly piece of even weave, and that's where I got up to on him. And he looks super cute. And the good thing is he has a partner piece that I have, a little puppy dog. So I'm going to stitch that one down here, and then I will actually be able to make the 2 ornaments out of the one piece of fabric, which also means I can take advantage of the cool rule that if you're doing something really small, if it's by the same designer and it belongs together in a set, you can stitch them on the same bit of fabric. So that 300 stitches start means I now have them both done as a whip. Woohoo! So now I get to start my 6th and last new start for the 24 hours. Hour-wise, I'm really going to have to add it up. I don't think I'm going to get to actually 24 hours of stitching this time because of all the different things going on in my life, but we'll just continue. All right, I'll catch you in a little while. Okay, so it's now 11:30 and I have just finished my 300 stitches for the prompt on this new start, which is a Juniper Designs, and it's pictures, it's a row of houses from the Rocks, which is one of the oldest parts in Sydney. So it's stitched with flower thread, which is really weird. So it looks a bit different. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit tired. And I've done 300 stitches, doing it on this lovely piece of fabric, which is called Damn It Janet. And I'm doing it on a 32 count even weave that I got from a Sassy pouch. So looking really good on there because, you know, these pictures just do nothing for it. How crappy does that look? But I think it'll look really good with the motley background, so it's awesome. All right, well, that finishes me off for my little snippets of the 24 hour, and I will be back tomorrow morning to do the rest of this video, which will be my normally weekly wrap up, and I'll try and count up the hours as well and let you know. Bye. Well, I'm back. So I haven't recorded all week. I've had a lot of family stuff that's taken up my time, but I am leaving my little vlog to the 24 hours at the start of this video, so hopefully you enjoyed seeing what I worked on. I didn't even make it to the 24 hours, which is most unlike me, but I did the 6 projects, so probably made it to about 18, but not the 24. So, oh well, sometimes life just has to take priority over stitching, believe it or not. Okay, so this week and last week I was focusing on my scavenger hunt pieces and my pieces for some of the semi-sane prompts, the Stitch Gurries and the Connect 4, as well as Around the World. And they're my focus that I'll be continuing for November. So I'm going to show you my progress. I'm going to try and remember to show you where they're up to. So in no particular order, we have got Little House Neighborhood, looked like this. And I was working on that mostly for my Connect 4, and it was something, I'll show you where it's up to now. Something that has something parted for magical stitches, and you can see that in the second row you can see that the houses are parted by a tree, and in the top row there's the trees that are going to be parted by a house. So going quite well on this one. I covered up my notes, so I ended up doing the full 1,000 stitches on this one, which is great. So I get to pop that one away for a little while now, and I think this is going to be one of my focus pieces for next year to get it finished. Shouldn't take too long to knock it over, but it's a bit too much to finish in December. So that's my little house in the neighbourhood, which was my January 1st start this year. My new year, new start, which won't be happening next year. Okay, just saying I've actually got my little trolley over here with all my stitching supplies, which is good for a change. We worked on my lest we forget. It's really not much point showing you the starting point. 600 stitches working, colouring in, and I think I finished outlining down the bottom of the guy's legs. So he's progressing. He's really good. He was helpful in a spell sling that I was doing 2 weeks ago just to get block stitching on. So I plan to leave the rest of his bottom for that sort of thing, or I need a green colour. And I'm going to move on to starting to work on the poppies that are starting down here, which will be good. Alice, she previously looked like this, and I've done 609 stitches on Alice, and she's now looking like this. And I know I worked on her because she fitted in my stitch grease. She was a streamer, and that was something that was also a bandage, and she's wearing a skirt. So yeah, all the work I did was up here in this corner of the curtain. So she's coming together. She won't be finished this year, but she'll be pretty close. Still a fair bit of work to do, and there's a lot of metallic threads. So it's very, very time consuming. And I silly, I don't know why, decided to stitch with this light effects thread for the purple. And it's really horrible to stitch with. But I started it, so I guess I gotta finish it. I'd either finish it or pull out the bits I've done. But I ended up doing quite a bit. I think the problem is that I'm doing it in 2 strands instead of 1. Anyway, we'll see. Probably as much to pull out as there is to stitch in it. So we'll see how we go with that. Okay, and I did a lot of work on my Amazing Animal Kingdom. Previously looked like this. And my animals, I've actually done 1,490 stitches on. So starting on the start of the second shelf, and you can see that it's starting to look like something. There's a couple of books there. Can you tell what animal this is going to be? I can tell already, you probably can. And I filled in a lot up here as well. So just colour completing, filling in the bulk sections. So I'm not going to colour complete the whole thing yet, but just get most of it on, try and get a bit more of this picture coming across here, which will be good. So it's been using a lot for the scavenger hunts, which is great. Now I also stitched on 2 other pieces that I'm going to have to go and find because maybe it's here. I changed all my bags around yesterday. Oh, here it is. Okay. Big Red Ship of Life. Again, not really any point showing you a picture of this. This one I did 400 stitches. And my 400 stitches is purely over here in the green. But if I hold it up now, the right way up, you can see that we're starting to get the frame in place. So it's all the way to the top on that side, and all the way to the bottom, and all the way across. So once I get that frame in place, I can start to fill in the middle. And I will continue to use this as my colour completion project for next year, because it does come in very handy for every time you need a certain colour. But it's going to be better when I've got a bit more of the structure done. I'll pick different colours. And yesterday, 2 more new starts working through. I have started the Scarlet House American Homestead set, and in particular this pillow. Now it's funny because it looks like it's quite big there, and I began it, and as usual began with the border. That's how big it is. It's not very big at all. So just using a little piece of sort of off-cut of my hand-dyed fabric in an 18 count Ada. So that's the size of the pillow, so it's not going to be very big. But that's good because there's plenty of fabric to do some of the other things on it. So yeah, it's not very not very large at all, but at least that's got it done. It was actually for one of the new prompts for Daily 30, which was I'm not sure actually. But anyway, we'll work that one out. Yeah, it was also for the catalogue for stitchery, something that you'd find in a school. You would find students wearing shoes, stitching on samplers. And the other one I started was a freebie from the Twin Peak Primitives that they had out as a freebie this year for a long time. Joy to the world, isn't that so cute? So I thought, well, I may as well start that one. And I had to do 250 stitches on that. There's an outline of the house. I've actually substituted the colours because I'm using what I already had. I didn't want to bother with finding new threads. I just used the ones that I've been stitching on and have finished with in my CXCs. So that's where that is. Okay, I'm just going to have to go and get that last piece. Okay, so the other one I stitched on, of course, was my Daily 30, my linens and threads. And I did about 1,400 stitches on this week. So you can start to see how it looks. So working all over in this bottom corner over here in the November section. Haven't finished the October, but I want it to come down. And I borrowed this frame from a friend, and this is one that we've actually got one of the guys in their local men's shed to knock up for us, so that it's made of Tasmanian oak, and it's a split roll frame. So really impressive. So I'm really pleased that I will be buying myself one of these for Christmas. All right.
No.
It's a video of interruptions. Anyway, that is basically it from me. That's 2 weeks stitching. Now, just out of interest, in those 2 weeks, 7,240 stitches, mostly because I was consistent. Well, fairly consistent. One day I only did 64 stitches, but other days I was getting 900s. Nowhere near my good numbers, but for a very hectic, busy fortnight, I'm fairly happy with that. So what are my plans for this week? Well, I will be continuing with New Start November to knock over the last of my projects in readiness for the No New Starts 2021. Again, if you're interested in that, go and join the Facebook group, answer the 4 questions. We've got lots and lots of fun things planned, and it's about working on what you've got so you don't have to get anything new. So that will be a really good year. See how far you can go, even if you're just challenging yourselves to last a couple of months. You know, do whatever suits you. It doesn't mean you get kicked out of the group. You can still stay around and participate in other things. And we'd really like to thank the people who have made donations so far for the prize pool. It's really appreciated. If you're still thinking of doing so, if you could get onto it, that'd be great. Either by the PayPal email address, which is the email address at the bottom of the rules, which is nonewstarts2021@gmail.com, or if you got some leftover things that you want to give, then you can post them to the addresses that are on the notification about that. And there's one in Australia and one in America, so pick the location that's going to be cheapest for you to send it to, and we would be really grateful. So looking forward to starting that. It's not too far now. I'm going to continue to work on the scavenger hunt as well. I've got my monthlies to focus on. The weekly homework's come out for Cheryl already, which is great, and I've managed to fit new starts into most of them, except for the whip I haven't stitched on in the longest. I'm going to have to find which one that is. It'll be something from Mania, I guess. And the monthlies, I've got to work my way through these stamps for the Daily 30. So be seeing a few different projects coming up this week as I try and knock over some stamps. All right, well, have a great week, and I will look forward to catching up with you guys with special Shady Trees Retreat edition next weekend. So you can look forward to that. And until then, happy stitching.